Alex, your shirt looks terrible.
Huh?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
I'm serious.
I just walked in the door. I sat down. Haven't even said a hi yet. And your shirt, you're telling me my shirt looks terrific, you said?
No, I said terrible.
Oh.
And you know why?
Why?
It's because
I
it's
don't even want
blue. It's because it's a blue shirt.
Everyone wears blue shirts.
I know. I was sad today. I was feeling blue. I thought,
too many people wear blue shirts.
Now check out my new shirt that I just purchased.
Whoa.
Whoa, Chris.
Yeah.
It's so bright.
You know where I bought this shirt?
Where?
I need a hobbypod.com.
On the shop tab?
That's the one.
Shop.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Looks pretty good, honestly.
Thanks.
Trade shirts with me. Chris, would you trade shirts with me?
You know how much do you think you should pay for the shirt, Andrew?
I don't know, at least 100.
Yeah, you think
probably
100?
Yeah.
You
US?
good for 100?
Yeah, I'll give you $100 for that shirt right now,
right.
just so Andrew will like my appearance again.
All right, plug yours for a second.
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, Andrew, can you let the listeners at home know how much I actually bought the shirt for?
Yeah, don't tell Alex, guys, but Chris actually bought this shirt for $20 plus shipping and handling.
Wait, sorry.
Total of $25.
I sorry, I just had a scratch. Did I hear $200?
Yeah.
Are you upcharging me already? Oh God. Oh, sorry.
At
I'll go plug my ears again.
IneedAHobbyPod.com, IneedAHobbyPod.com, and the shop tab, Chris got an awesome shirt. It says support your local podcast.
Yeah.
I mean,
word around town.
this is perfect for us.
Yeah.
Yep. Great
We
shirt.
are upstart. We love getting support from the fans, and we love supporting our own podcast. Chris, awesome shirt.
Thanks.
Alex.
The more shirts you guys buy, the more likely I'll be able to buy my own cool
That's
shirt.
true,
Not
yeah,
this dumb blue
'cause
one ever again.
You have to wear that blue shirt every day, unfortunately.
It's sad.
I'm on my third week.
Yeah.
He's a one-shirt man.
It used to be yellow. I'll be honest.
Don't know what happened.
You know what, dude? It's looking a little better.
Thanks,
It's looking
thanks.
All right.
But if you guys want a new shirt that isn't blue, it's a great white shirt. It says support your local podcast. IneedAHobbyPod.com. Click on the shop tab, and we
buy it.
appreciate the support.
Buy a few just in case.
Yeah.
All right. Take it away, boys.
Glug, 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 and welcome to I Need Hobby, a podcast. I am this week's host, Chris. And to my left, he wanted this episode to be titled Winemaking so we could walk around on some drapes. Andrew.
Hello.
And to my right, he wanted this episode to be called Beer Drinking because he has a problem. Alex.
Hello.
So, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Not bad. Have you guys seen that YouTube video of the lady stomping on the grapes and falling?
Oh, yeah.
I have, yeah.
It's like a
Wait,
really,
did you show that to me? I saw it recently.
I don't
It's
think
so funny.
this is like a YouTube video from like probably maybe pre-YouTube actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super old. I think it was like an America's Funniest Home Videos type situation.
It's an AFV kind of video.
It is
for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very funny.
None of that,
Yeah.
unfortunately, this episode. But what are we going to be doing?
I'm falling.
Oh,
Just
why
trying
is-
to.
Where'd you know those
I'm
grapes?
doing a little AFV style podcast
Get
here.
all those drapes, man.
Which we had that like narrator guy, you know, the stupid AFV narrator.
Yeah,
who's
what's that
just
guy's
like-
name?
Wait,
I don't know.
Tom Bergeron?
Tom Bergeron.
Oh, did I make fun?
Stupid AFV.
Well,
Ca-
It's
I don't
your
know, like,
legend.
that guy's a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend, but like sorry,
It's
I
just
meant to
all,
say
like,
I meant to say
stupid-
stupid AFV narration. Like
It's like the stupid
that-
puns. Like,
Yeah, just like I don't know. What's an example? Like
she looks like she's gonna have a hard time squeezing her way out of this one.
Yeah,
or
was gonna be like, I wonder if she's read Grapes of Wrath before.
yeah, or like someone like slipping on ice, and it's like that's one way to break the ice.
You know, it's a
Yeah,
good
like, come on.
It's a good AFV narration style joke when you have to like really emphasize the pun. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever seen the Grapes of Wrath before?
Yeah. She's gonna be whining tonight.
Wow, we got a lot of good ones right
Yeah,
there.
that's a good episode already. Damn, it's firing off. But if you want to know what this podcast is typically about, besides the great jokes, here at I Need a Hobby.
Besides the great jokes.
Besides the great jokes, I Need a Hobby. Every week we try a different challenge, hobby, or activity, and we tell you guys about it. We are 3 guys working the 9 to 5, trying to make the most out of the 5 to 9. And boy,
Yes.
we had to use multiple 5 to 9s for this hobby.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah. Multiple 5 to 9s, multiple
say
weeks.
5 to 9 to
Yeah.
5 to 9 to 5. Somehow the brewing process
Chris
doesn't
is
go
right.
during
Five
from
to-
9 to 5.
Yeah,
This
it
is just
rests.
counting,
It
like-
rests just like
Yeah.
we do. I mean, hey,
I
you
rest.
can't expect people to be working overtime every week.
That's
you
true.
know,
Mhm.
Yeah,
just like
that's fair.
beer. Why we can't expect something to ferment?
Hmm.
So
5 to 9.
before we get into it, can we get into what we were just doing a little bit ago?
Andrew is so
Yeah.
eager to talk about
No,
this.
I don't actually want to talk about it. I just think it'd be cool to look back on.
Andrew is auditioning for the hit show. Now, any people who don't know the show, explain the show, Andrew.
It's American Idol. It's back, and I'm so
It's
excited.
America's Funniest Home Videos. I'm the
I'm
narrator.
Tom Bergeron.
I guess you didn't see that one coming.
Oh.
Andrew is auditioning for Survivor, the
Yeah.
hit show. I guess it's fair to say it's a hit show.
It
now.
still is a hit
It's been
show.
going
Even though
on
it's kind
for.
of dated, it's still pretty popular. I think.
It's been going on for
Got
years.
Chris to watch it again.
I'm a big fan.
Alex,
watch
maybe
it.
you'll hop in this season.
Yeah, I'll watch it if Andrew. Well, I'll try to grab a few minutes each episode if Andrew's on it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
at least a little bit.
So we taped a little audition reel for Andrew.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was fun. We did. It was, largely staged, but that's okay. The
Yep.
audition videos
Very
have to be
fake.
kind of, rambunctious and
It was supposed to be
Weird.
Andrew, like, he was going to show his survival skills. So he's like, yeah, to the camera. He says, this is me. I could eat anything. Here's me eating some bugs and some worms.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just had, like, sour worms that I guess you thought were going to trick the Survivor producers.
yeah.
but-
You think I
Well-
fooled him or no?
I mean, you said, like, oh my
Think you'll
gosh,
get
what
that
is
by
this?
Probst?
What is this, Warhead sour? My God. So, like, I guess
It was
maybe
too
you could-
sour for me. Somehow I had to spit out
Got it!
the sour gummy worms.
Got it!
Yeah,
Yeah.
But maybe if you guys are interested in seeing Andrew on Survivor, maybe we get the hashtag I need a hobby Andrew for Survivor going viral.
Yeah, yep.
Or
Anyone
not.
on all social media?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm gonna apply. I'll apply this September. So by the time this episode's out, I've hopefully already applied, and I will know in. I think there is like a round of stuff in December or January, and then if I make it on the show, which is not going to happen,
Mhm.
but if it does, check it out. We have it right
So-
here on I Need a Hobby.
So you said, like, December you'll find out?
Yeah, probably before then. I don't know, but
So-
I think, I've gone to like open casting calls before, and like if you don't find out, then you just don't make
Yeah.
it, which is like very likely.
That's fair.
So if any fans out there, you have until December to email the email address, I am your host, Jeff Probst @gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Just use the subject line, like, host with the most,
Mhm.
and then
Sure.
say we want I Need a Hobby Pod host Andrew on Survivor.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then he should get back to you.
Yeah.
He's pretty good with his
Quickly.
emails.
Yeah, so that'll be exciting. But it's a pipe dream.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be fun, though.
But so
I
was
mean,
starting
how
a
many-
podcast.
How many people are still auditioning for Survivor these days?
That's
gotta-
what I'm wondering.
Yeah, it's
There
gotta be
can't be
dropping.
that
'Cause you gotta
many,
think
right?
like, yeah. I don't know.
'Cause,
we'll
like,
see.
Because most people are probably thinking, like, oh, I'll never make it.
Yeah,
And then who's still watching Survivor?
it's more than you think.
Just you
dude.
guys?
More,
It's
I
like,
think more people watch it, but yeah, who takes the time to actually play?
who takes the time to apply? Who really wants to go on? It's much less than before.
I mean, I was watching that show Naked and Afraid.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know that show?
I
Yeah.
applied for it.
And they had to
that's,
get.
what, that's what Chris applied for.
They had
Remember,
an
you guys
epi-
helped me film that video. I was just standing buck naked.
Yeah, give me the sour worms. Ugh.
They said they didn't get it.
And they had like an episode of just social media celebrities. So it wasn't even
yeah.
people who had survival skills.
Mhm.
So I feel like they ran out of people who had survival skills, and they had to tap into their.
That's true. So maybe
People
they won't
eager
even
for
watch your video
likes.
and they'll just find you on here.
Yeah, that'd be
Maybe.
exciting.
I've heard
True.
Probst is a podcast guy.
Yeah, he's a sour worms fiend too. I heard.
Does he really like the sour worms? Maybe we'll have to redo that bit and make sure I get it right this
Because I think
time.
the first ones weren't sour; they were just standard anyone's.
No, they
Yeah.
were sour. Dude.
Yeah.
They
Okay,
were
yeah.
so sour.
It was a what's that mud? You know that mud dessert? It's
Yeah,
like chocolate
yeah.
pudding and
dirt
gummy
pudding
worms.
or whatever.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I
something
forget
like
what
that.
it's called. Yeah,
mud
maybe
pie?
dirt pudding.
Is that it?
I want to say mud pie,
It's
but
definitely dirt pudding.
I think mud pie is a cow pooping and you accidentally step in it. Isn't that a mud pie?
yeah, something like that.
Wait, that's real. I
no,
actually
that
think
is yeah.
I want mud pie.
Jeff Probst is there like, all right.
Good thing
This
we're
guy's got
Yeah.
guts.
Check.
Good thing we're filming this for the audition video. Still, this all.
Yeah, this will all be on.
All right, enough about mud pie. This is making
Yeah,
me sick.
yeah, I
Let's talk
agree.
about more
Even though
manly topics.
what we're about to drink probably isn't going to taste much better than mud pie.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
So this week we're doing beer making. So I
Yes.
think we referenced it way back when.
We
I don't
definitely
even
posted
know
on the
what episode
Instagram
it was.
story. It's probably not there anymore. but
Yeah.
Early-
I like how you always talk about it. It's
This
like,
was weeks
probably not
ago.
there this month. So
Early June, I think.
Beer making.
Yeah, it's sometime
Um,
in June.
Beer making.
2016, though.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. This is definitely
This thing is alcoholic.
I aged it. So we made beer.
Yeah, so explain. You had the beer kit.
Yeah, so
Just explain to the folks at home what beer
shout
making
out
is.
to my Uncle Mike for Christmas
Uncle Mike.
2016.
Nice.
I got a beer making kit, and I said, and it's something that I'd been interested in because he does it a lot. Like
Wait,
he,
2016 or 2017?
2016.
Oh, it's 2016.
Christmas
Sorry,
2016.
sorry.
Yeah,
My
2017
bad,
doesn't
my
happen.
Early Christmas present
We're
from
talking
Uncle
fiscal
Mike.
year 17. But my uncle is into making beer. He makes like big batches of it. He experiments with it. And I've like tried the stuff he's made. It's like it's a fun.
that's
It's
cool.
one of his main. I'd say it's probably his main hobby.
Nice.
And it's something I talked to him about.
Get this guy on the podcast.
I know. I should have hit him up. But he got me this kit, just with a starter kit, make your own beer. And we did it.
Mr. Beer, it's called, right?
Mr. Beer. So check it out online if you're interested. I waited probably like 6 months to actually do it.
Yeah, took us a while.
So we talked about doing it for an episode of the podcast, and
We kept on bringing it up, like, oh, we should do the beer thing soon.
This was one of our first ideas. I feel like I say that every episode.
I think it was recommended.
This was one of
This
our first
episode was
ideas.
recommended to us a lot.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, just wait.
Yeah, it's coming. It's fermenting. Don't worry.
So I waited. I mean, for a while, I was still living at home, so I wanted to wait till I moved out so I could set up my whole station without my parents being like,
Yeah.
you live here for free and you're
this is
starting some sort of brewery.
This is coming from someone who, in a previous podcast, admitted to hiding in his own basement and drinking one beer by himself, so his parents
True
didn't
story.
see.
So I think they knew from that day I had a problem. So I had to hide this from them. But yeah, so we got the beer making kit and we did it a few months ago. It's now ready to drink.
Yeah.
Gonna give it a taste. We have it right here in front of us.
Should we explain the process of what we did?
So let's get going. Yeah.
Because this is a pretty basic beer making kit.
It's like a step-by-step kind of
It's
like
like
Yeah.
a beginner's
method.
guide.
A beginner's
Yeah,
method.
yeah.
No F2L involved.
Because like my brother's really big into brewing beer too, almost like my own Uncle Mike. Sometimes I'll call him
Sure.
like, you're really an Uncle Mike to me,
Yeah,
brother.
that's fair.
And he will do like, he has like actual equipment to brew like real beer. So I feel like this is like
This is beginner.
you
bush
think
league
Uncle Mike
version.
has that too?
Oh yeah, he goes all in.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was telling me there's a local shop where you can buy like all the ingredients to do.
You
whatever
could
you
buy
want.
like real beer.
Yeah.
They brew it for you. Chris,
said
you don't understand.
He said they called
brew it for
They
you.
called it a liquor store. But yeah, should we just start how we did it? Start
Yeah.
from step
Yeah,
one.
I guess so.
So
Well, this is supposed to be, it's called a long day IPA, right?
Long day IPA. So the goal was for this to taste like an IPA.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
And we'll see. So the first step that they really, really highly stressed was you got to clean everything like incredibly.
Right.
Um,
And we're doing this in Chris's old apartment now.
yeah.
And let me tell you, pigs die. That's all I gotta say. So it's gonna be. We have to scrub the walls to
Yeah,
get
it's
this
true.
beer clean.
It was like that scene in Daddy Daycare, you know, the one where, he's
Where
in
he
the
walks into the
and there's
bathroom.
shit
I
all
don't
over
think I
the
know that. Is
ceiling.
that
Yeah,
wait,
it's
what's
like
Daddy Daycare? Is that a movie?
yeah, it's like an Eddie Murphy movie where
I
like
haven't seen
he
it.
like walks into the bathroom and is like, I don't know, the kid walks into the bathroom and says like, oh, I had an accident, and then Eddie Murphy's like, how bad could it be? And he-
all right, enough.
And he was like, I'm about to brew a beer in here.
God forbid.
yeah, God forbid he had to brew beer.
Yeah, so
But that's what it was like. It was like walking into a scene from Daddy Daycare.
Yeah, without the poop, just with everything else,
Just
banana
with-
peels
and a weird Eddie Murphy poster on Chris's kitchen wall.
of Norbit.
That's funny. So we sanitized everything. It came with some cleaning equipment and
Yeah.
like whatever, just like a packet of what was it, like soap, heavy duty soap, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was Purell actually.
Yeah. So got the
Heavy
job
duty
done.
Purell.
Wait, did it? I don't really remember it coming with that stuff.
It's
What
a-
do you think it was?
It just said like rinse cleanser. I don't know. It was
Oh,
probably
I do
just some
remember
sort of
Yeah, it's like a weird, I don't know, saltwater solution or something.
something like
Yeah.
that probably. So everything was clean, and then it's all about making the wort.
Yeah, it's all about the wort. I remember that.
What's that?
So
Remember the
it's a
stuff?
buzzword.
It tasted like tomato juice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So the wort was like, so we had to boil water.
Mhm.
It is tough to remember, like
Yeah.
a month ago.
This was a
Plus,
while ago.
A month plus.
And I'm reading. I have the list of like what we did here, and even then I'm like,
All right, let's
I don't
try.
really
Let's try to remember without the list.
Yeah,
then.
let's see.
We had to boil the water first.
We had to boil water.
I remember, and then we had to. I think we. Oh no, we had like that syrup stuff, which was not the wort yet.
That's not the wort.
I don't
That's what
think so.
becomes
That's
the
what
wort.
tasted like tomato juice.
It was
Andrew,
like-
I remember Andrew was like, because Andrew, when he goes on airplanes, he loves drinking tomato juice.
yeah, you've
Yeah.
heard
He
about
was
one of our
chugging from
episodes.
this like molasses type substance, saying like, "Oh, I feel like I'm flying high right now, guys." Stewardess, and we're like, "Gosh, Andrew,
Yeah.
we're just trying to brew."
I had already given beer
Like,
making a
Andrew,
10 out of
you
10.
can't get drunk off the wort.
Oh, guys, I think I'm tipsy. And
Slipping
then-
on all the banana peels.
So
in Chris's apartment.
in Chris's garbage room of apartment.
Mhm.
Now I feel bad that we're making crap out of Chris's apartment.
It's his old apartment. It's fine.
Yeah, all right.
It was fine. It wasn't really dirty.
No, that wasn't too bad.
So we Is that correct? We boiled the water and then added that molasses type tomato juice into it.
So let me just do a quick
So
summary
far we
of where we're
boiled
at.
the water. Is our only
That's
step.
it.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, we probably should have talked
We
this.
boiled the
Yeah.
water, then we took back every insult we made about Chris's apartment.
Yeah, we had this whole process. So first step, we filled the keg. So it was in like a keg, not like a true giant keg.
It was like a.
It's honestly like one of those coolers with water, like a Gatorade cooler, and
Yeah,
you tip it
somewhat,
sideways.
yeah.
I was gonna compare it to. You ever have those like root beer candies?
That's exactly what it looks
It
like.
looked just like that, right?
But
It's like a
but
barrel,
a 2
Big
gallon
root beer
thing.
candy.
like a bar,
Like a barrel that you'd see in like a Donkey Kong video game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like that.
Yeah.
Just a little bit
Like
bigger.
a barrel full of monkeys. You guys know that toy?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a barrel full of monkeys.
God,
Yeah.
I need some sort of thing.
It's
These
almost
these are all
like-
perfect. It's almost like a
It
barrel.
was almost like you guys know like the saying, shooting fish in a barrel?
Yeah,
Picture that barrel.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's
you know,
what it was.
you know the phrase brewing beer in a
in
barrel?
a barrel with
Yeah.
fish.
yeah.
Because that's what our beer tastes like.
Fishy IPA. So we fill the keg with water. Then remove yeast packet from under lid of beer mix. Then place unopened can in hot water.
Ugh.
Oh, that's right. We
So
had.
that was
I like to
we-
think.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, mine is educational.
All right,
Yeah,
I like
you're-
to I like to think someone is walking into is like going into their car with a date right now,
Yeah.
and they plugged their phone in to like charge it, and this podcast just started up, and it's just Chris saying, "Remove yeast packet from underneath wort container."
She's like, "What are you to do to me?"
What?
I'd like to envision someone Bob Ross style in this. You know, like listening
Ooh,
to this
yeah, dude.
podcast, unopening.
Okay,
the-
and then what? Shut up about the barrel. What do we do next?
That's funny. So yeah, the yeast packet. Blah blah blah. Next step: using the sanitized measuring cup, place 4 cups of cold water into the 3-quart pot. Then slowly sprinkle in the booster while continue stirring to avoid
What?
clumping. Do you remember the booster?
Did we do
No,
this?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was just a packet that I think they said was to like make it so that it wouldn't like clump up when we had all.
I don't know if we did
I
that.
don't even
going.
remember that.
Wait, another thing I remember about this
Mhm.
is there were 2 different instruction packets.
Mhm.
Remember
Yeah,
that?
I
Yeah.
was reading.
Oh, yeah.
No, one of them was on. So we had
One-
that can of I don't
the
know what
pre-wort.
the
The-
pre-wort.
that was the
Yeah, let's
pre-wort.
call it the pre-wort. And
That was the molasses thing we were saying
it said
before.
and it said rip off this like label to read the instructions. So
Yeah.
I was reading that, but you guys were reading like the given instructions,
And they were
like
so close
yeah,
to being the same.
so
Yeah.
close,
But
but
slightly
somehow a little different.
Yeah, that was funny.
And so I was reading those, and you guys were reading the other ones.
So we'd do something, and you'd like just phrase it differently. You're like, stir
Yeah.
it vigorously. No, stir it quickly.
but actually, it was like pretty similar to that.
Yeah. So basically, at this point, what we did was we poured the wort in and just had to like warm it up to boil it down
Wait, what did we do?
So we poured the wort into what?
into the pot.
Into the barrel?
No,
The
the
pot?
pot.
Oh,
Yeah.
the boiling water?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
No. Was it boiling at this point?
It was boiled.
It was
this is bad.
boiled. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We're
Then
not
we
gonna
pour the
remember
wort in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then what did we just let
Well,
it simmer?
what was the one? I remember, Chris, you were putting something in, like you were running something under hot water or something. Do you remember that? Or maybe it was in cold water. You were submerging a can or something
Oh yeah.
in the sink. Remember?
I think that was the wort.
I think that was the wort.
I think it was.
It was
too.
the, no,
I
it was
think
the pre-wort. It was the pre-wort.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we were doing that. I don't think we put the wort. You know what? I think we
Yeah,
didn't
we
boil.
didn't. We didn't boil the
we
wort.
didn't
What am I-
boil
What am I
anything.
talking
I
about?
don't think we boiled anything until the pre-wort was in the water.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Then we boiled that.
Yeah.
Then we put that into the barrel.
Hey guys, I was testing you. You've
Yes.
passed.
And we failed miserably.
Yeah, so we did that.
Uncle Mike
That's
is
right.
just shaking his
Shaking
head
his
right now.
It's like,
listening to
what
this
is a
podcast.
podcast? You're right. So we poured the wort into the keg.
And I'm very confident we did not do this booster thing that you mentioned.
No.
I had a booster. I snuck it in there. You guys.
No, you didn't.
Pour wort into keg.
Wait, into the keg?
So the
boiled
barrel.
water.
Now it's the wort.
Yeah.
Now, Andrew, it has become the wort. And once it has become the wort, you have become a man because you are now brewing your first beer.
Oh, hey, this all made sense. So the yeast packet from before,
Mm-hmm.
that's what was in the hot water in the can.
That's right.
This beer's gonna taste bad.
Wait. No, we did it right. We did it
Yeah,
fine.
we did do this right.
Well, we did it right.
We just are not doing it right right now.
Yeah, I just can't read.
Yeah, Chris, you have the step-by-step
Because we
instructions,
didn't put the
right?
yeast.
Just tell us what
you,
we did.
You brought the yeast up earlier. We didn't do anything with the yeast until the very end. Remember, we
Mm.
sprinkled it.
The
in
yeast
the
was the
barrel?
last thing. Right, we put it. You're right. We put it into. I remember that. We put it into the barrel, but we had to fill the barrel to a certain amount
with
Mhm.
with water. With
Yeah.
water, yeah.
Right. And then we put the
And
wort.
then we put the wort, and then we put the yeast.
All right,
That's
right.
right.
We
That's
have
right
to-
for sure.
Let's start the podcast over. Glug 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 and welcome.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. I
Blah blah
know
blah.
that
All right, I think what we
Andrew was
actually
on
did
Survivor or
was
something.
we warmed, we cooled, we put the can of pre-wort to room temperature,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Then we filled the barrel up to
With
a certain
warm
amount
water.
with
With
warm
warm
water.
Mhm.
Then we boiled water and the pre-wort
Yes.
to make the wort.
Correct.
Then we
Yep.
put that in the barrel and we sprinkled it with yeast.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Now, there's no booster involved.
Maybe we didn't use the booster.
But I do remember we did. What were the gumdrop things? Was that the carbonation?
Gum
yeah,
drops.
yeah. I'll get into that a little
Okay.
bit.
Oh,
Because
right.
that was after we left.
hmm Yeah, so I guess keep in
that
mind
was like
also-
step one.
Yeah, our
Like that was day one. That's what we did.
That's what we did. We just did that. The gumdrops have
Yeah.
not entered
Right.
the scene
Sorry.
yet.
I mean, everything with the word wart
yeah.
was day one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I guess this is to say we did a very bad job explaining it. But I think like when people actually brew beer, they get like all the hops and stuff. We had like a kit that basically just like did a lot of the work for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't have to do anything.
It was definitely like the most. Yeah, like you
So
said
I-
this earlier, the most beginner method.
Yeah, I think like you
Basic.
do a bunch of stuff with hops and whatnot and other ingredients.
Yeah. I like that this is just a blanket statement. So beer, you just throw hops.
No, but I'm saying that that's what you do
barley.
to make like the pre-wort,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. Yeah.
so we didn't have to deal with that stuff. They made it
Exactly.
for us.
So that was,
And
that was real nice of Mr. Beer.
Yeah.
All right. So
So
what
then
did-
we left.
So they left. I said
me and Alex. left.
Chris said,
Stram.
"Oh boy, he threw out what we just made and made a new one all
Mhm.
by himself." The
Oh,
right
you know
way.
what? For reference, I think we can say this. After we did that, we recorded going to the gym as an episode.
Yeah, you're right.
That
Remember,
was
we
the
were
one
in
we
Chris'
did, yeah.
apartment. It was really sweaty.
It was hot.
So think about how long ago that
Yeah.
was. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was a really long time ago.
So speaking of it being hot, this
was an
so-
issue, I think.
so
Oh.
so this stage of it. So we made it. We officially have like what is to become the beer.
Do you
but
have it
it's-
in a bunch of bottles? No, just in the
It's
keg,
just in
right?
the keg,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
or the
so it's
barrel. I feel like we
Yeah.
should just call it the barrel.
It's fermenting now, right?
it's fermenting. So at this point, it's not alcoholic and it's completely flat, and it's
Mhm.
just
Right.
in
But the
this
yeast
barrel.
is in there.
The yeast is in there. The wort is in there.
Yeah.
The post wort.
Is it ever?
And plenty of water. Another funny thing was I was reading on some like forums afterwards that they're like 99% of beer is water, so make sure you use like great
Good
clean
quality
water.
water.
And I think we just used tap
Oh,
water.
yeah.
Tap water for sure.
Well,
Um,
okay. I'm a huge tap water fan.
Yeah,
I feel
tap
like
water's
anyone
fine.
who's pretentious
No, I
about
agree.
tap water,
I agree
like,
with that, but I wonder if like I'm sure like
I
real
agree, but
beers-
like
yeah.
I'm
Chris
sure
comes in
it's
with like
unrelated.
his Voss water.
Yeah, I
I
drink
would
Voss.
I would have.
Dude, have you
podcast.
seen this new thing called Life Water? Like not Sobe Life Water. It's
Yeah.
it's Life
No.
WTR. They just like stole the name and everything.
Oh really?
And it's not Sobe Life Water.
Is it just water? Or does it have a
it's
taste
like
to it?
it's like smart water. It looks like smart water.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
Voss.
ridiculous. It's
Have you
not
guys
as
seen-
crazy as Voss or Fiji. but-
Oh yeah, Fiji's the worst too.
How much do you think it would cost to make it like if we had to fill this thing up with Voss or like
Oh
a
my
Fiji
God.
water?
It would cost them all of our podcast budget, no
Seriously,
doubt.
Which is zero. Yes. All right, so these guys leave, and it said keep it in a room between 68 and 76 degrees for 2 weeks. Let it ferment.
Impossible.
We are in the heart of summer,
Yeah.
and I'm in my apartment, which like doesn't have central AC.
Right.
And so I put it in my closet, just shady. Figured it would work. Figured.
Both shady, like literally, and also incredibly
wonder-
questionable locations.
I wonder how hot do you think it was in that closet? 80?
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I mean,
Oh,
yeah. how
God,
hot,
we weren't
'cause
even
Most
close.
of the summer is like, in the high 80s, 90s. So like,
I mean,
don't
it was
know.
probably like regular, like the temperature we wanted for like more than half the day, like nighttime
Yeah.
and morning.
That's
so.
true.
That's true. Yeah. So figured nowhere
Whoop.
else to put it.
Whoops.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do it in the winter next time.
I know. I wonder if with this kind of beer, because
Mhm.
it's such a beginner's method of beer making,
Mhm.
I wonder if it makes that much of a difference.
That's true.
So
So,
I'm sure
maybe
a-
if we were doing something like more complex, and that would take longer.
It would
I
make a
don't know,
big difference. Because I'm sure the beer, most people who are doing the Mr. Beer kit
Mhm.
probably aren't putting it at 68 to 70 degrees or whatever you said.
Mhm.
That's true. 'Cause
They're
it's
probably
a-
just putting it wherever they can.
yeah. 'Cause it's not like me to buy like a.
Because this is the
Thing to
everyman's
put on
beer
it.
kit, you know?
Yeah.
This isn't the Sam Adams kit.
It's Mr. Beard. So 2 weeks goes by, and I realized I don't have any bottles. That was a funny thing. I never.
They didn't
Oh,
give you
yeah.
the bottles?
Yeah. So it didn't come with the bottle. So I
I
was
forgot
like,
we were talking about that.
and I did a lot of research on. There's a lot of like because a lot of people are into this homebrewing thing. I think it's like pretty
Big
popular
hobby
these
now.
days.
Big
Yeah.
up and coming hobby in the
There's
last
a lot
few
of
years.
a lot of big forums where people talked about how they do it and yada yada. So I did some research and I have plenty of bottles in my apartment because I drink a beer every now
Yeah.
and then. And
Oh
I'm thinking,
God, man! If you showed up with like your used beer cans and beer bottles filled
Yeah.
with our beer, I would have been so mad.
Yeah.
that would be great though. What if I brought like one of your favorite beers, like cans bottles, and like filled it up with our stuff,
With
and
our
then you're
beer.
like, "Oh, this
If
is
it was good,
the
yeah.
best." And I'm like, "Hey, you made it, man."
He would certainly notice, though.
Yeah, that's true. So I did some research. It looks like you can, as long as they're clean, use bottles, but you need to buy like a capping method.
Like
or
glass
something.
bottles,
You buy,
you're saying?
yeah, just like your standard.
Oh, regular
bottles.
bottles.
You just need to buy something to like cap it, which
Right.
seemed like a lot of work to me. So I went and just got the Mr. Beer approved
All right.
bottles.
Oh, good.
that
That'd
they
be
have
good.
there. Just ordered them online, and basically they're just like, how do you describe them? They're like a dark brown, like
It's like
it's described as like an amber.
It
it looks like
like-
it looks like a shrunken 2 liter.
yeah.
Yeah, and it
basically.
looks
But
like
it's
the
not 1
color-
liter either. It's smaller than that.
It's the tinted color of a beer, like a
Mhm.
Sam Adams beer bottle, not a green
Mhm.
beer bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like a water bottle size.
yeah.
So again,
Mhm.
like, yeah, this was like just the easiest way possible because these just have like screw on tops that screw on like and really lock in, so you're able to like carbonate them.
Yeah,
Okay.
this seems
Um,
fine.
Yeah,
I mean, what
and it got the job done.
what's the difference? Like, what would be the huge difference between using a glass bottle?
I think the biggest thing with these is they were kind of expensive, and we got like
Oh.
12 of them, so it's like you can't I wouldn't give these away. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like if I make another batch of beer and I want to like give it away as gifts, I'm not gonna give these bottles. You know?
Okay.
Right.
So I guess I want to do that.
So, how much what were they
Yeah. How much do we owe you?
Yeah, I'll Venmo or Tracy. I think it was like $10 or something for these.
for all the
12
bottles?
bottles or something.
12?
Something
that's
like that.
that's
yeah.
not bad.
It wasn't insane, but
I
it's
thought
like
you were gonna
That's
say like 10
insanely
bucks.
cheap.
I thought you were gonna say like 10 bucks
Well,
each.
well, I mean, you'd buy 12 beers for $10. You know, that's what I'm saying. Is like they're
Well, homebrewing is more expensive.
no,
as
but
a
I'm
hobby.
saying you can use normal bottles. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, like a
But-
bottle that you buy a beer in costs 5 cents.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
this
that makes
costing
sense.
I didn't. Yeah, this
12
wasn't full of
cents.
beer.
I was
but
wondering like how much,
is like
but
more
like
than
obviously
double
it's 5 cents because that's like
what
what
you
you
get
can
back.
redeem it for.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But I wonder how much a beer like a bottling device costs. It's got to be pretty cheap, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Because
but-
if you're doing this for the long term as a real hobby,
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure it's
something-
definitely
yeah,
worth it to
definitely.
do that. Because
Exactly.
I know my brother puts them in.
That's just
actual
like us
glass
with
bottles.
a podcast. Like we got our nice new mixer now. Eventually, as it became a real
yeah,
serious
once
hobby,
you get upgraded,
Mhm.
we
yeah,
started upgrading our microphones, our equipment.
yeah, and just I see your fingers getting towards that sound effect button again.
You wanna
Not
see
this
it?
episode.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I even think the bottling method might have been cheaper or like about the same, but I was like, this will just be easier.
Yeah,
and
this was
whatever.
fine,
For
yeah.
the first time. Let's just do this. So I, because these guys were away, just did it in my apartment by myself. I think I also put it on the Instagram or the Snapchat. You could probably
Yeah,
still see it.
it's
maybe?
probably still there. Yeah,
Yeah.
this was
Yeah, check
3
it out.
months ago, I think.
Well, so first what I did was I took a shot glass and drank it just to taste where we were at.
Actually,
Yeah.
And how
so this
it?
was wait, sorry. So,
So this
I'm
is-
a little lost. So, is there any carbonation still?
No,
And-
but it has fermented.
it's fermented.
And you've put it into bottles?
So at this point, it's still in the keg. I just taste it.
Okay.
He's
Um,
2
about
weeks
to put
after?
it
Yeah, two.
Okay.
I think it was somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks,
Okay.
which they recommended. Yeah, a minimum of like 2 weeks. So
Mhm.
in. All right, what did it taste like?
it tasted. It was funny. I had.
It tasted like
Pure,
wort.
yeah, pure wort.
I
You ever
took
see the daddy's was that
Daddy
you ever
daycare?
see daddy daycare scene in the bathroom? That's what it tasted
more or
like.
less. No, I mean, it tasted. I thought it tasted like flat beer. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, I didn't drink a ton of it because I thought I don't know. I wanted to save it for the real
I
thing.
didn't want to get too drunk.
And also it was like at the point where if it was bad, I was still gonna try carbonating
Mhm.
it. So
Oh, if I would have been pretty upset if you just ditched it.
yeah,
2
right,
weeks
exactly.
in.
Yeah, it's like
You
what
can't
am I
do
gonna do?
So this is where the gumdrop things come in.
Yeah,
right?
so
Those are the
I-
carbonation pills.
So and again, like there's a carbonation method that you can use with like just using sugar and
Oh,
like
I'm sure that's what like the real brewers.
yeah, that's
do.
what the real again very basic method. But
This
we
is
just
Mr.
had like
Beer, guys.
Mr.
Settle down.
Beer.
This is Mr. Beer. What are we? Samuel Adams? Come on.
But yeah, more or less we just I filled up the bottles and well we had to clean out the bottles too. Like every step it's very like sanitize,
Right.
sanitize. And then just drop in a couple of these carbonation drops.
Those are the
Carbonation
gumdrops that I
the
was saying
gumdrops.
before.
Mhm.
They look like gumdrops.
Mhm.
Taste. Chris, you said you tasted one of these gumdrops. What did
Yeah.
they taste like?
My mouth almost exploded at the carbonation.
it was the most intense pop rock you've ever had in your
so
life.
bubbly. So put them in, close them up real tight,
Yeah.
and
Then you wait another couple weeks.
yeah, and from there we put them back in the closet, back where they were.
So now they still can't go in the fridge.
No,
So you just kind of have to wait it out for another couple weeks.
yeah, so we just put it in there, and then I put it in the fridge before we were gonna drink it. to taste
Oh
it.
right.
Um,
Oh yeah. I guess most beer isn't in the fridge until you drink it.
Yeah,
Like if you buy beer at a liquor store, it could just
exactly.
be.
Yeah, I
sitting
wonder
there.
if I could have put it in the fridge, but I don't know. I didn't have that much room in my fridge. So
too many, too many beers in there.
Yeah, one thing that I did notice, so I mean, when I started pouring it, because another big thing is you don't want to open the keg/barrel at any point because of like any sort of like contamination. That
Yeah,
can
it's
happen.
exactly what you were saying
Yeah.
earlier. Where like, right, like any sort of contamination is just can like it can spoil the batch.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
One bad
'Cause
apple
it
can
is
spoil the batch.
To think like the yeast is a living thing in
Yeah,
our beer.
for
So
sure.
putting other living things in it,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna mess with it.
Yeah.
So it does make sense.
So I couldn't really like go in and like stir it or you know what I mean. Like I wanted to
Mhm.
open it up and like
You
make
couldn't
sure
even
everything
like
was-
wave and say hi.
Yeah,
'cause it
exactly.
might
Like, hey,
wake up
beer, how you
and-
doing?
Yeah.
You're right in there. It's like a hibernating.
Yeah.
It's like a hibernating bear.
Bear,
Yeah,
yeah.
You do not want to wake it at the wrong time.
So we noticed that. So I noticed that as we were pouring them, the first ones looked great. The next ones looked great,
Oh no.
and
Hey.
then
Hibernating beer.
there we go.
Yes. That's what we should have called this.
Yeah. Then they started to get a little bit like gross looking. Either they were like lighter in color, and I think like kind of like chunky. You know, like how like beer is like filtered or unfiltered.
I was told by the my brother when
Mhm.
we were talking about the
Uncle Mike.
brewing beer.
Is his name?
Uncle Mike. Yeah. And he said like, watch out, don't get like the residue in your beer. So when
No.
you say the chunks that are coming into
Yeah.
our beer,
And I wouldn't say chunks, but there is definitely some sort of
yeah,
residual stuff.
which
Yeah.
isn't. I don't think it's bad. It's just
No.
like that's probably like
Is it
The
kind of
gunk
like
they don't want.
if you like don't remember like making Kool-Aid back in the day or something? You
Yeah.
like don't stir the Kool-Aid and you get like the
Or like
big
you have like a
chunk.
protein shake, anything that's
Yeah,
like
Sure,
super
probably
looks
clumpy,
like that,
yeah,
makes
like
more
a
sense,
hot
yeah.
chocolate.
But this isn't like
yeah, hot chocolate's a good example.
Yeah.
that's
I
not
w-
what beer isn't like a
Right,
powder.
right,
so
right. So it
you don't
shouldn't-
want that.
I would say
powder.
it was
But-
almost like a pulp, like in orange
Yeah,
orange
yeah.
juice, but like then and yeah, it got a little funky at the
Imagine just getting a beer with pulp. Ugh,
Mm.
that'd be disgusting.
end. Yeah. But I was like, well, I've come this far, just got to fill them
Yeah,
up.
it's part of the
Um,
experience.
And then I put them back in 2 weeks later. Here we are.
So we should say that we have tried the beer already.
Yeah, that's true. I wanted to ask you guys if we should bring that up, but I didn't, so I've been like
I
I
tiptoeing.
too
feel
late.
like we should. Yeah,
Yeah.
we shouldn't fake it.
It's
and
not-
we should say that we had an Instagram contest, or we had a contest
Oh
saying
yeah.
that we needed a name for the beer,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and we had a few submissions with the same name, which I think is easily the best name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Should we say it?
yeah.
Let's do it.
I need a hoppy.
I need a hoppy.
Too
IPA.
easy.
Yeah.
So
I
we
don't know
had
how-
what? It was Zen,
Dave.
Dave,
Oh no, now we're gonna forget. People.
I
I'm
said
gonna
it.
feel bad.
Also, yeah,
Chris, yeah.
Uncle Mike, which
Mhm.
I don't know how he knew.
Yeah.
I think you know what? I think Uncle Mike just wanted a beer, so he was saying, "Chris, give me a beer. I need a hoppy, like a hoppy beer. Get me one."
And I was like,
That's genius. So yeah, so thanks for the
Chris- yeah,
submission.
Uncle
Yeah.
Mike thought of it, and Chris stole his idea.
Yeah.
Good one though.
That's genius, Uncle Mike.
yeah, and I will say so. So we tasted it, and what?
But we
were-
also have a beer in front of us now.
That's true. Yeah,
that
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
taste it
taste.
again.
we were gonna taste.
So
it
yeah,
again.
we tasted it the other night. Well, should we get going with the tasting it now? Then we might as
Should we
well.
crack
break
it open?
No, I feel like we should say what we thought at first.
Okay.
Like,
What
so
I
that
thought
it doesn't
before-
get biased.
Cracked it open. Though.
So it's
Yeah.
it's supposed to be an IPA,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and we tasted it with.
that's
oh
a
gosh.
good sound. We got a nice fizzy noise.
I thought the beer was gonna explode on Chris. So we were
Diet Coke
tasting it
and
with
Mentos
other
style.
people, and no one said it tasted like an IPA. People kept, which
Yeah.
we didn't say it was an IPA to them, but people were like, "Oh, this, yeah, it tastes just like a brown
Chris,
ale."
don't try it yet.
Yeah, no.
Don't try it.
But
yet.
no one said. But no one said it tasted bad, which was
Right,
a shock.
right.
Who was the first one to try it? I think it might have been you, Andrew.
was
I
on-
tried it first.
it was on
Yeah, it was
Andrew's
on my
birthday.
birthday.
yeah, it was Andrew's birthday.
I liked it.
and
I thought
so,
it was good.
But it was funny. So Andrew is not like a big beer drinker.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't really like
Well,
Harmony
like-
and stuff. So I was a
No.
little nervous that it was like, all right, Andrew likes it, but like, I
Yeah,
don't
what does
know.
that
you
mean?
know?
Oh, I'm like getting there now.
What
'cause,
beers do you like? So for the fans at home,
Bud
Bud Light Lime.
I do like Bud
Oh
Light a lot.
God, no,
I
what are
like.
we
Well,
doing?
my taste is weird. Like
Mike's
I feel
Hard
like
Lemonade
I like
beer.
like stouts kind of,
and you said like
but I also like fruity beers.
I remember.
I
when-
don't like. You know what I really don't like? I really don't like Sierra Nevada. I don't like Sierra Nevada.
I like that.
So
but
that's
that's like
like-
what an IPA
that's like an
is.
IPA.
Yeah,
I know
guess
it's
so.
like a pale ale, but
Yeah.
it's like the same idea.
I think that's the idea. Like the pale ale,
Mhm.
maybe. I don't like. I don't know.
Yeah.
Point is, like my beer palate is not
it's
super
kind of
advanced.
diverse.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I remember when we went to the brewery last time, you said like your favorite beer was the Red Four Loco.
Really?
Yeah, like what a diverse palate.
I mean,
you have
normally
for beer.
that's usually number 2, so I didn't think I would.
Yeah,
I would have said it was
it's
number
between the
1.
red and the green for like.
I don't even know what flavor it is, but the color's red. That's all I care about.
And I will say, I don't want to spoil anything about my rating, but there was something very cool about like sitting around a table, a bunch of friends. You know, every
Yeah,
now and then
drinking
I'll drink beers with friends,
yeah,
but
like your
I made
beer.
this dang
Yeah,
thing.
that's really cool. You're right. That is really
Especially when this was like, you know, every now and then I'll like have friends over and like cook something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like that's cool and they're like, oh, this is great. But this took like over a month.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Especially,
like-
I
and, like,
just wish
and like it doesn't suck, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
to me, I just wish we really didn't have much to do with the creation of this beer.
That's
we just
true.
put it together.
Yeah.
Like I want to I want to like get the
Get
hops,
the hops.
figure out the combination, the ratio,
Mhm.
and then make it from there. Because then,
then
it
it-
really feels like I made this. Like this beer, no one else could have made this.
I
you know?
feel like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Obviously, it takes a lot more.
I also
work.
think
We would
That
not be able to
reminds
do
me
that
of
right
like episode 14, maybe lock picking, when
Sure.
like we had like the little practice locks and we like still couldn't get them. But it's like, if like how cool would it have been if we picked a real lock? Like
Right.
that would have been awesome.
Even
But
though we could get the
even,
practice
even
locks.
if we got the practice lock, it would have been like, eh.
It's
Like
like
this-
the practice locks are made to be picked. This beer is made to be
Exactly.
this
Made,
exact
yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
Like anyone could
Mhm.
could have made this exact beer. Whereas if we figured out the recipe,
Mhm.
it would have been like
Yeah,
our beer.
because that's the thing is even Uncle Mike, who makes these big batches of beer, my Uncle Mike, not your brother Uncle Mike.
Okay.
He'll every now and then have a batch that just goes sour, like something
Yeah.
goes wrong. So I was like, this might not work.
Right.
So I was pretty happy that
I thought it turned out pretty good.
Another thing which I thought
pretty
was the
well, things
was the
considered.
very the thing that rung most true for me was that this tastes like a summer beer kind of.
Yeah, which was
is
happy.
might
It
be
was
why
like
you
a-
liked it because it's
yeah,
like a
I
light.
do like summer beers. Yeah.
Have you guys had? I don't know if this is like a. This is gonna make me sound stupid probably, but it's like a nationwide brewery, but that Cisco brewery.
Yeah, that's,
Someone
it's in
compared it-
Nantucket, Massachusetts. I
Right.
think, yeah, so.
Someone compared it
Pretty
to the
local.
Gray Lady
Mm-hmm.
from them, which is like the summer beer, and I think it does taste a lot like that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't supposed to. That's what's concerning me. It's supposed to
Something
taste like a
went wrong.
long day IPA, and it's not supposed to taste.
So
like
now
like
I'm
Great
curious because, like, there's a chance that each bottle could have
Exactly.
turned out totally differently.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you know?
because it wasn't
Oh,
like.
you're right. That's scary.
Or like
Yeah.
half of them are different or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like I don't know what we're gonna get with
Yeah,
the
that's
one
true.
today.
And I will say, so this bottle, I had my roommate grab it for me because he met me for dinner and I forgot to bring it, of course.
right.
So I was like, oh, grab one of those beers. And I
Just
didn't tell him what
random.
to look for, like a good one versus a bad one. So we'll
Oh
see.
no!
And I will say, when I had friends over, obviously I picked I eyeballed them all.
You got the good
This
one,
one
yeah.
looks great.
Because the one we had was good.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, I guess we are about to taste the
Yeah.
beer.
Should we give it a taste? I cracked it open already. It might have
Yeah.
cut up on the mic.
So
Now the issue is we are also doing a diet challenge for the podcast, which is coming out soon, and I already started. Chris and Andrew have not.
yeah,
And in the diet challenge,
we're not gonna say what it is.
should we?
Yeah,
we should say it. We're doing the whole 30. So look it up if you want. We'll save it for the whole 30 episode
Yeah.
to really describe it.
Mhm.
But you can't have any alcohol. I already started yesterday, so
Yeah.
I can't have this alcohol right now. But
Yeah.
I might choke and drink. Give me some now.
Yeah,
It's so
I'm not
good.
gonna do it.
He's thinking about tracking.
It's really good.
It
dude.
does taste good.
Oh God, now I really want some. How does it compare to? The
I
one
think
we
it's
had?
better. I think it's better. It's less flat than.
I could already tell it's more
Yeah,
carbonated.
Like
'cause
Yeah.
cracking that open.
that was a
really
big thing with the last
satisfying.
one was it was very flat.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It wasn't flat enough to be like a bad beer because it was flat,
Mhm.
but it was like.
This beer is really good, and
See,
I think what
yeah.
Chris is
Oh,
saying is
God
right. It's like
dang it.
it's because we were involved in the process.
Yeah, right.
I saw the wart, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and now I've seen it without its warts, and it's
Yeah.
great.
Nice.
You know, I used to have warts when I was a kid on my hands.
You know, is that true?
True story.
Another in our beer.
Yeah.
It froze them off into our beer.
I will say though, kind of going back to the whole these plastic bottles. So these are true, like they're plastic material. So drinking out of it feels a little
It does
weird.
feel weird.
That is
yeah.
weird.
Which is why if I do make it again, I think I'm gonna do a little bit more research on like.
But
how
it
to-
is it's like tinted, so the light doesn't ruin it.
Yeah, which
So I
is
think
what
that's
which
the
is why
tint
they
for.
said that these were the best ones. So it's like
Mhm.
I don't know exactly.
You guys prefer bottles or cans?
No
I don't know,
question.
actually.
No question for me.
Personally, like I really like shotgunning. I don't know if that's a common thing. I'm so bad at it, but I really like it.
I'm over shotgunning.
So if-
now that I've graduated.
So if I'm not gonna do that, then
I can't believe
definitely bottles.
you like shotgunning.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
the point of it is like that it's very unlikable. Like,
I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like it's fun with like the right
yeah,
group.
I'd
you
say
know?
I like the
Alright.
the ritual. I mean, I've
It's
done
definitely
that's
it's
fair.
definitely unpleasant.
something
like,
I've done
and it's
5
not-
or
it's-
less times.
I guess
can be
shots
bad, but-
shots are unpleasant too,
Mm-hmm.
but people could like doing shots.
yeah.
So I
well,
get that.
Yeah, I don't.
But
like
did
that,
you imagine shotgunning a long day, like an IPA?
Yeah.
Uh,
I shotgunned a. I don't want to talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like cans. I like cans more than bottles.
I've
I don't think
actually
it's no question.
hmm. I think-
Bottles could break, could smash,
Mm.
and cans. The quality of the beer lasts longer in cans because the light doesn't go through it.
Yeah,
Whereas a bottle, the light goes
Mm.
through it.
I read this article saying that a lot of breweries are moving back to cans. It was like
Yeah.
cans for a while, and then they thought bottles were
Good.
better. But interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
is
feel like I've
interesting.
noticed that more.
Yeah,
Even
you'll
in
see
the last
like
2 years,
Mhm.
that cans are like even like a bunch of variety packs.
yeah.
You see them in just cans now, whereas before they were mostly
Yeah.
bottles.
Yeah, another thing I want to tell you, what do you guys think about the whole like craft brew like thing?
I
I
love
feel like
it.
it's such a thing these days.
It's so.
Yeah, it
it
and I
is
mean
so
maybe it's been a
cool.
thing for a few like I don't know.
I think
I've only been drinking for a few years. But
I think in the last 10 years,
it's
it
really
started.
picked up. Yeah.
Because even around me in Connecticut, my town in Connecticut, there are a bunch of local breweries that are just going up now.
Yeah.
Whereas I would have noticed them before I was 21, but even when I was 21 and 22, they weren't there. So I think it's really taken off now, and it's awesome. I think it's so cool.
It is
I love
cool.
it.
It's so cool knowing like this is you're drinking a beer made by like maybe 4 people who are involved in making this beer. No more than that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you drink Bud Light or Sam Adams or something, there's a huge company behind it. But I don't know, something so cool about just like drinking this beer, knowing that we made it.
I went to a just like food and beer festival maybe a month or so ago or a few weeks ago, and I was talking to these guys who started. They were probably a couple years older, but they started a like ginger beer company.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about this.
And I talked to them.
Not on the podcast, though.
Yeah, I brought up how I was making my own beer, and they were like, "Yeah, man, that's how we started. Like, we had just a little basic beginner's kit." And then they were like, let's experiment some more. And now they like rent out space in a big like factory where they make it there.
That's awesome.
Right. That's the cool part.
It's like you can do it. I mean, and there's so many of them, but it's like.
I feel like the breweries, because it's such a weird kind of subculture thing, breweries are welcoming. So you hear that all the time, that this one person knows how to make beer and knows the recipe, but they don't have the equipment. So they'll brew it in another brewery.
Yeah.
And that's great. Like I'll be drinking a beer and it'll say like brewed in this brewery in this town, and then you'll drink the same brand's beer but a different flavor, and it says like brewed in this brewery. Yeah, it's like that's great. It's just someone who knows who's got a passion for beer making, but maybe they don't have the funds to start up a brewery. It's great.
Yeah,
you seem quiet over here, Andrew. Are you against it?
No, I was just picturing like, I don't want to seem insensitive, but don't like for like the guy, like the classic beer maker guy. Don't you picture kind of like Gimli from Lord of the Rings? Or no?
I don't know which character is that.
Do you know? You guys don't know Gimli?
Does he have a beard?
Gimli's the dwarf. Yeah, he's like, he's
I think
like
I know who you're talking about.
Red-haired dwarf who's just like really manly.
It's funny because that ginger beer that we were talking about has like a picture of a guy with a big red beard on it. I think it might be Gimli.
I just feel like it's like what Chris is saying is like, not to bash us, but it's like, we could do it if we wanted to, but I'm sure we could, but like it doesn't seem like it's gonna really fit what we're.
No, I think you're wrong, because it really is just like following. It's like a chef, you know.
No, that's a
look
good
at
point.
Mario Batali.
Yeah,
that dude's a square. You know. And basically, what he's just doing it with food.
You think we're better than Chef Batali?
That dude's an orange crock wearing, orange hair wearing square. All right.
Does he have a podcast? No.
He probably does.
Yeah, it's probably number one.
Yeah, everyone on Food Network.
But what he's doing,
I thought you didn't like Alton Brown. Don't you not like him either?
He's a square too. I do like Mario. You know why I like Mario Batali? Because he rocks Crocs. I know I just said it insulting him, but like, he's a public figure proudly wearing Crocs.
That is pretty cool.
That's so cool, you know?
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
But what I was saying is what he's doing basically is there's like basic recipes for dishes, and he'll put a spin on it to make it even better, make it his own. That's just what beer makers are doing. So saying that just because there's this connotation of beer and tough guy, all they're doing is following a recipe. You could go to culinary school.
I think you're right.
I bet in the next couple of years there'll be like a clean-cut culinary school graduate who makes the best beer in the world. You know?
That's probably true.
It's going to be like the Walter White of beer making. This nerd chemist who doesn't fit in the black market drug dealing world is going to be the best.
That's interesting.
It could already be going on.
Well, if you're
with beer.
the Sam Adams guy, have you heard about his story at all?
I listened to a podcast about his come up.
Yeah,
it was great.
He went to Harvard, and he went to like law school and got like a.
He was like a legit
PhD. Like he's like
successful businessman,
and then was like, I'm gonna make beer and I'm gonna make a company out of it. And
so
it's like one of the biggest.
His like grandfather was a brewer in Europe, and he just like modified that recipe because there was no one in America making like beer with a real like quality recipe. So Sam Adams is considered the first craft beer in the United States because he brought that over and just made really good beer, which no one had in America at the time. It's so cool.
Now I feel like I can set anything I achieve my dreams to be.
Right?
Yeah. It was funny. I think, but that's what it was like.
I could be on Survivor.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
this Gimli character doesn't fit in Survivor. Oh, you just wait, Jeff Probst.
I will say that. I mean,
you guys should really watch Lord of the Rings. But
yeah, that's the great thing about hobbies, though. You know, this is high level. Like,
I'm telling you,
you really can do anything you set your mind. Like, if you want to make beer, like it's not that hard if you follow instructions.
We're living in the time of the hobbies.
This is
you got forums, you got websites, you got Instagram pages that help you so much.
I know we
with
said
some
good point.
stupid thing that you don't even know about.
You got podcasts.
You got podcasts, yeah,
like actual
even,
podcasts
like, for real.
though.
Like
yeah, for real.
This is the year of the hobby.
Yeah, we've said it since
before,
January. But that's so true, and it's so cool.
Yeah,
like I think that is probably a big reason why home brewing is so big now.
Yeah,
is because anyone could look online or buy a stupid kit and do it in 6 weeks, and then they got the bug. You know,
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
It's great.
All right. Well, on that note, do you want to get into ratings?
Yeah, 2 out of 10.
Next episode. Yeah. So every episode we rate on a scale from 1 to 10, and we give the hobby a yay, which let's say this time is going to be: are you going to continue beer making? Or a nay?
Oh wow!
Are you not going to continue beer making?
Right.
Andrew?
Okay, so I had a lot of fun with it. I thought, like we were saying, just having your own beer, your own creation that you can show off and be like, I made this. And also what I said, for it not to suck, for it to taste actually pretty good. This one tastes really good, Alex, if you decide you want to restart this diet.
I can't. Should I? No, I shouldn't.
It's a really nice, I don't know, it's kind of a nice thing. It's just a small little thing, and I really like it. Will I continue beer making? I'll say nay on that, though, because I don't see myself really wanting to do it. Like, I feel like one of you guys will, and if that's the case, then I'm down to help out. But I'm not gonna be starting my own craft brewery unless you guys want to do it. Then I will do it. But so I think, I don't know. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was good, but maybe this might be low. But I'm gonna go 5.5 nay. It was like definitely a net positive, but overall it took a really long time, and maybe I wasn't that involved in general. It just seemed kind of like a long process for something I was enjoyed, but not something I wasn't.
So what's your
something I wasn't particularly interested in? So 5.5 nay.
Wow.
On beer making.
All right.
And nay, like yay, I liked it, but
yeah, we're being firm on the yays and nays.
That nay, because you have to be realistic.
I'm not going to do it more probably. Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
This beer that we brewed with the Mr. Beer, enjoyable, but you could tell it's just an entry into the world of beer making. But with what I've looked into and what I've heard from my own brother, Uncle Mike himself.
See, I think this is my problem. I don't have an Uncle Mike like you guys do.
True.
I just think it's so interesting. I've watched documentaries about, like, you guys know the Heady Topper?
Mm-hmm.
This small brewery in Vermont makes this one beer that's considered the best, at least the best in New England. Maybe not as of now. There could be better ones now. Mm-hmm. But at the time, it was the best in New England. And all they did was just make it out of that brewery, sell it at that brewery or around that brewery. You couldn't get it anywhere else. And people loved it. And like you said, it seems so achievable. Mm-hmm. Like, to be the best, no pun intended, but to be the best at your craft seems so achievable for people who have probably, like the guy who made Heady Topper was maybe in his 30s or 40s, thinking like he's on the set path in life. He probably had a good job, a family, but he liked brewing beer.
That's so cool.
But it wasn't like big yet. And then he got the resources and was able to do it. And now he's considered one of the best breweries in the Northeast, if not America. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Great, yeah.
So I think that's so cool. I don't think I'll ever be one of the best beer makers, but I would love to do it again. I think I would love to get like a real kit, not the Mr. Beer kit, but like buy the each individual thing you need.
All the hops and
the hops too, all that, even with recipe, and do it. I'm gonna go 8.75 yay.
Wow.
Oh, 3/4.
And that's what percent our beer is.
Yeah.
As well.
Yep. I wish.
Yeah, it's probably close to the Andrew's 5.5.
Probably right around.
Or
that.
maybe less. Who knows? So what am I gonna rate it? So this one, it took some thought. So it was something I've been interested in for a while. It's funny, actually. True story. I was talking to Uncle Mike, the real Uncle Mike.
My brother?
Yeah, your brother. No, my uncle. Christmas Eve, and I was telling him how I wanted to start it, and I was like, maybe I'll get a kit, and he was like being real coy.
Oh, that's great.
I
love
love that. The next day
that.
at Christmas, he gave me one, and he had already got it. So it was something.
Uncle Mike, my own brother.
Yeah.
Also cool that if my brother's name is Uncle Mike, Chris's uncle's name is Uncle Mike. Am I Chris's dad?
They're definitely related. But yeah, I'd say if I was, I don't think I'll do a beginner Mr. Beer kit again. You know, it's
Right.
like
No, that's
kind of-
we did the beginner kit.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah,
No need to do
we're
it
not
again.
beginners anymore.
yeah.
We're
so it's like,
intermediates.
let's move on to the next step.
Mhm.
Will I continue doing it? I think so.
Nice.
And like I said, there is that local shop that's, I think it's like 20 or so minutes from where I live. So maybe a little bit further, but one of these days I want to go out and just like see, kind of like
Man,
learn a little bit more about the process. Talk
Yeah.
to someone
I
who
want
knows
to do
more
this
about
too.
it.
I would love
One
to
thing,
do this.
one thing I will say, yeah, I'd love to join you guys.
I would love to do a
Can I come
follow-up
back in?
episode with like
Um,
with like putting
real
more of a
stuff.
twist into our beer.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
See, okay, yeah, I like this idea a lot, but one thing I wanted to mention is that I feel like as we move to the intermediate next time, we
Mhm.
should really like we kind of ignored the temperature thing. Like, oh,
Mhm.
this is the best
Yeah,
we can do.
yeah.
Like, we shouldn't kind of half
Yeah.
bleep it again.
right, but
you
I'm
know?
just wondering like how is that?
Mhm.
How much even in a real house? How much could you regulate
Yeah.
the temperature?
That's
Because
true.
either you're putting
It's
it in
like
the
where am
fridge,
No,
I
I,
Yeah.
I agree, but like maybe we wouldn't have done it in the summer then, or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
put
or we
it-
could have brought the beer easily like somewhere else. Not
yeah,
just Chris's
or didn't
apartment.
leave it in the house. Yeah,
Yeah.
like just something where we're a little smarter
definitely.
about following the
Mhm.
directions to a T.
Yeah. So I think I am going to try it again. Is it something that was like amazingly fun? I'll say this time probably not, but I could see it being like
I would agree with that.
like just like a true hobby, like
Mhm.
something that you can really like delve away at.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
more like the potential is what's
Yeah,
is what's making
yeah.
me
exactly,
really like
yeah.
it. Like
yeah, like
there's
was
so
mixing
much
the wort
potential.
or whatever we did fun. But
Because like there's so many flavors too, or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't even know if that's the right word for beer, but there's different ways to do it, and
yeah, there's
can make it
red
taste
Four Loko
differently.
beer.
Yeah,
there's
the green
Four
Four
Loko
Loko.
beer.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna give it a solid 7.5. Yay.
nice.
Solid hobby.
Nice.
We'll do it again. Maybe I'll go check out the store with you guys.
Nice. Yeah, we should.
So you guys ready for the next section?
Yes.
So this section show is called What's on Your Mind. Every week we get a fan who submits a theme song for What's on Your Mind. So great. I mean, 50 some odd
Yeah.
episodes, 60, whatever we're at. Still sending them in.
50, 60.
We haven't played the same one twice. Well, I guess Bruce has played that one
Yeah,
a few times.
Yeah.
prick us. Yeah,
Jeez, yeah. But this week we got a submission from fan of the show, Samuel A.
No champagne or girly drinks, we drink beer and beer and beer. Don't you wanna drink with the big boys? Loco, middle of the club talking all that noise. No.
Thanks, Sam. All right, so we always start off What's on Your Mind with a fan submission. So we're going to read a submission that we got from fan of the show, and might add super fan of the show,
fan for sure.
Henry.
yes.
We've probably talked about Henry a million times, but he sent us a great What's on Your Mind. So Henry says, what's on my mind? Is ding-dong ditching still acceptable, and do kids still do it today? This was a huge part of my childhood, basically just being a little punk and getting into trouble. Things have changed significantly in the last 10 to 15 years when I was in my ding-dong ditching prime. People/parents are more afraid/protective than ever, and technology and current events play a role in this too. Cameras at the doorway to talk to people at the door. Weird. All the crazy stuff that has been happening in the world. Thoughts?
Weird.
Also, scroll down. He also adds, freaking love the pod.
Whoa.
Yeah, very nice of
Wait,
him.
didn't it
quick
say like
blunt.
it said like ding dong, who's there? Henry. Henry who? Henry freaking loves the pod.
No, but he ran
Cool.
away, so he wasn't able
Yeah,
to
and then he left
answer.
a flaming bag of dog poop at our door.
Classic.
Henry.
So you guys ever ding dong ditch?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask.
I've never done.
I've
that.
never done it.
No.
I've never done
I
it.
thought it was fake. I don't
Well,
think
one
anyone
funny
does
thing,
it.
I remember as a kid, elementary school, I had a few friends who were kind of like, I was like on the edge of the friend group, but they were kind of like
This is the mischief night
the
friend group.
troublemakers. And I remember they found one of our teachers' houses somehow
No.
and would ding dong ditch it like
Oh,
regularly.
the rebels.
Because it was like they lived down the street or something.
That's like such a minor thing.
I
when
know.
you think about
That's
it.
like a thing you would do to Mr. Skinner or something.
Yeah,
from The Simpsons.
It's
yeah, I've
just-
never done it. I guess I could still do it. Is there an age cap? You know,
Well, I
to
think at this
ding-dong
point you can like
ditching?
get arrested somehow.
Ugh.
I don't know,
Yeah,
so
it's probably over 18. It's
if I
not
do
worth the
leave-
risk.
Yeah, if I leave my signature flaming bag of dog poop at
Yeah.
the door,
Nice,
yeah,
yeah.
I might get arrested.
But do you think kids are still doing it these days with?
I don't know. That's a good question because there is. I mean, I've never seen these, but I've heard advertisements for them. The doorbells that have cameras on them.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
Henry
right.
is right. Those I guess exist, but does anyone have them?
I don't know.
I just feel like ding dong ditching has lost the appeal in general as like technology's become a bigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just kind of phasing out as
Yeah.
something that
But what's
Isn't
a good
fun.
prank to pull as a kid now? Following someone and then
Yeah.
unfollowing
I
them?
was gonna say like. I feel like all the pranks these days are
Yeah.
all the pranks these days are like technology based. That's right. You know, like,
Are there
Yeah,
any
that's a
good
funny prank. It's like,
technology
hey, I saw
pranks?
you followed me on Instagram. Like, no, I didn't.
Check
Like,
again, fool.
Yeah.
Check again, Principal Skinner.
That's a good one.
Yeah, what are kids doing for pranks nowadays?
Yeah, who
Oh,
knows?
yeah, there's still prank calls because
Anything
those
good?
are like,
Probably.
I don't know. Because Star 67 was one of your What's on Your Minds, I think, Chris.
Oh yeah, down back.
Yeah, prank calls. I still think we should do prank calls for an episode of I Need a Hobby.
See,
I
we
would
will
love
disagree
that.
on that. That is so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I'll do it myself.
Maybe I'll just do it for fun. I
Oh,
would say
Henry.
if I had a kid in today's era, I would say no ding dong dishing because
Oh, yeah.
honestly, yeah, I mean, not to be a dad, but like you're trespassing. You're,
Oh,
you know,
come on,
I'd be
Chris.
fine with it.
you'd
I'd
be
all
fine.
right with it. It
with
depends on
being-
who it is. If
but
it's the haunted
you
house
don't-
down the way,
I think you gotta
no
know
way.
who you're
Yeah,
dinging.
if you're
'cause
dinging, yeah.
If
I
it's
would
a
be
mole
mad
guy-
if they ding dong ditched an old guy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's
Oh,
fine.
those are the best pranks. They can't get to the door. Those
Yeah,
old,
then they're
those
done.
old bags. Come on,
Yeah, get
It's
off my
too late.
lawn.
The flaming pile of dog shit.
has taken over their whole house. Oh no!
Yeah.
that would
All
suck.
right.
Ding dong arson. Probably not the best
Yeah,
idea.
that's
So
another
let's just stay away
audience.
from that.
All right. Well, thanks for the submission, Henry. That's
It is funny to think that someone could be in their ding donging prime.
yeah.
Like even the people who've ding dong ditched. How many times have they done it? 5, 10 tops?
You
I feel
think
like it's a summer activity that only lasts during one summer of your life.
yeah. You
then
think
you
they
never
knew
go
it was their
back.
prime when they were doing it?
Oh, you never do. You never do.
You never get to soak it in. Really.
Yeah.
You never get to get that last ding in, because then you just become like 13.
Yeah, yeah. Soon you slow down, you ding, the dong comes too quick, and you can't ditch.
It's all about the dong.
Mm.
Then you get the flaming pile of dog poop thrown at your face. You catch on fire. You have
Mm.
burn scars.
Ding dong arson reverse.
You grow up and you
You right into a podcast.
Yeah. Here we are.
tell your children to continue ding dong ditching.
All right, Alex. What's on your mind?
My legacy. No. All right. Here's what's on my mind. This is something I've been getting heated over the past couple weeks.
Mhm.
We need, I don't know if it has to be government regulated, but there has to be a nationwide way to regulate spoilers for TV
Mm,
shows.
Yeah.
that's a
Because,
good one.
I watched Game of Thrones. We just had the finale a little while ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to talk to people about it.
Yeah.
And if I'm talking about it the day after it airs, and someone goes, "Oh, you can't talk about it. I haven't seen it yet." Well, then leave.
Mm.
I shouldn't have to quiet myself because of you. It's not fair. But in
Hmm.
the same way, if I hadn't seen it yet, someone's talking to me about it in front of me, I don't want to get spoiled. There's no perfect way. No one's happy.
Yeah, it's
You
tough.
know? It's not fair.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. I can't talk to anyone.
You have no solution though, right? What can you do?
I'm trying to do a little crowdsourcing now. I want
okay,
a solution.
okay.
I don't know what to do.
I will say
I honestly think if it's the day after a show as popular as Game of Thrones, that's the person who hasn't seen it. That's their problem. You can't. I missed an episode, and I spent the next day not going on any social media because
Yeah,
I didn't
that's-
want to get
I
spoiled.
agree. I agree.
And it was something. It was a chore that I had to do myself. I didn't put it on everyone else to not
It's
say
just
it.
kind of like a enter at your own risk thing.
Exactly.
Like
Mm-hmm.
like you should you should know
I shouldn't have to
if
quiet myself.
if you miss a show that's like when Breaking Bad was everyone was talking about that last
Right.
season or whatever. Like
well,
if
that comes into my next thing.
okay.
But you're right.
If you miss a show that's big enough where it'll be on social media whether you like it or not,
You got to know.
then you either got to not care
Mhm.
or no. I guess for me I say not care because I don't watch Game of Thrones currently, so I've probably seen
Right.
like 100 spoilers and I don't care.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing.
But that's different. If you watch
Some
the show, you
people-
would care.
Some people will be like, they haven't even started Game of Thrones, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not there yet. Don't spoil it." Or they're on like season 2.
Yeah, that
This is
that's
You need to accept
don't
it.
spoil it.
yeah.
I haven't started. Like, if
Figure it
people are
out.
talking about it around me, what am I gonna do?
And the other thing is, there are shows kind of like Breaking Bad. Maybe Breaking Bad is a little bit of a stretch,
Mhm.
but certain shows aren't built on the suspense and the unexpected stuff. It's just like a quality show that doesn't have unexpected stuff.
That's
And
good.
people will be like, "Oh, I'm not there yet. Don't spoil it."
yeah.
Well, like, you're not even in the conversation, and it's not a spoiler. It doesn't spoil the show.
exactly.
It's just something that happens.
Mhm.
You know?
I guess like a comedy type, like a sitcom maybe. You know, it's like with
Even-
that, like what's a spoiler? If you said like, oh, this episode they did this.
Well, like that show Master of None. You know
Yeah.
that show?
Yeah,
I was
great show.
talking about that show a while ago, and someone's like, "Oh, only on season 1. Don't spoil it." Well, what?
There's no
what
real
do you-
spoilers. yeah.
It's not because of the plot that it's a good show.
Mhm.
You know, and even with Breaking Bad, I don't want to spoil it now, but how Breaking Bad ends, You know,
Don't spoil
Yeah.
it.
I'm not gonna. But people are like, oh, I don't want to watch it now because I know how it ends.
Mm.
The beauty of the show is not you unexpectedly waiting for the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everything that happens within is so good.
Yeah.
So who cares if that gets ruined for you?
Yeah.
It doesn't ruin anything. It's just that you happen to know.
Yeah,
one thing.
I agree with that. Like, I started watching Lost, which is like one of my favorite shows.
That's a
still.
great show. Great show.
And I basically started it because my friend was like, I don't know what he was thinking. Actually, it's a listener of the show, Matt. He was like, you should watch Lost, and I was like, maybe, but I don't know. And then he was like, here, check out this scene, and he shows me, like, I guess I won't spoil it, but it's one of the most famous deaths of a really beloved character.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
like
about.
halfway through the series is what
Oh,
I'll
I
say.
do know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so he shows me like that scene and is like, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. So the whole
See-
when I started watching Lost, I
You knew.
knew that this character
Right.
was going to die, and that was fine because I was
See,
like,
that's what I mean.
This is great.
That is
anyway.
a spoiler, and I will say that's a bit of a stretch because now every suspenseful moment with that character, you know, he's not going to die.
Yeah.
But the show is still great.
Yeah.
It's not like the show is relying on that one
Exactly.
thing
Exactly.
to ruin it. Whereas if you're talking about maybe like, even certain parts of Game of Thrones or like movies with twists, like The Sixth Sense or something,
Mhm.
if you spoil that, all right, that's a spoiler. That you just ruined the movie because
Yeah.
the point of that movie is getting to that point,
Yeah.
and not expecting
yeah.
anything.
That's different. You're right.
Or like Star Wars with Luke, I Am Your Father, which obviously is
Yeah.
not relevant now, but
Mhm.
like
Probably
if
the
you
most
spoil,
famous spoiler of all time.
yeah, if you spoil that, that's different.
That's a
but
little
people,
different. That's like movies are finite, kind of. TV shows are too, but there's
yeah,
so
but
much
I'm
more
just
to build
trying to
on.
think of like a point where it's like
Sure.
so unexpected, and the movie relies on that to be that good. But now people are oversensitive to it, so now there will never be a moment like that in Master of None. You know,
That's true.
so who cares about a spoiler?
Yeah.
That's
It's
funny.
ridiculous.
Huh. All right.
So it makes me think people are saying that about our podcast.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm only on episode 3. Beer monkey, what? Oh, don't say it.
they made
Don't
beer,
say
don't
it.
That's funny. All right, Andrew, what's on your mind?
All right. Here's what's on my mind. I'm hoping you guys have been to this place, but if not, I'll just rant about
Ooh.
it for a bit.
Good.
Texas Roadhouse. You guys ever
I think
been?
I've been there. Yeah.
Not recently.
They
but I
sit
have
at
been
your
before.
table to
It
order.
Wait, what?
That might be Outback. Go on.
It is the weirdest place ever. Like,
This is
Just
a
like
rest-
it's like a
it's a
chain
restaurant. It's a
barbecue
restaurant.
chain,
It's like a
yeah.
chain restaurant that like a large portion of this country is like obsessed with. Like unbeknownst to anyone who
I've been
doesn't
there.
go to Texas Roadhouse. But my friends in college had what?
Do they have the good?
question?
Yeah,
yes,
raise my hand.
Alex, question.
Do they have the good butter there?
Yes.
I've been
yes.
there,
They
yeah.
have the good butter.
Okay.
And they also have peanuts like at Five Guys, like, everywhere.
Okay. I've
Yeah.
been there.
So one of my at our house last year we had like a second house. I was trying to think of the name of that today. It's not like a duplex. You know what I mean? It's like maybe it is a duplex. The same. It's just like
It's like a right next door.
it's a mirrored
but it's
right next
connected.
door.
I think it is
apartment.
a duplex.
That's what a duplex is.
I
right?
feel like a duplex is something else.
No, that
but
is a duplex.
probably is it. Anyway.
When I think of duplex, I think of something else.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I think that's just another duplex.
And like one of the girls who lived there worked at Texas Roadhouse, so we're like, oh, okay, we'll come by for a night. We're gonna go out to eat. Let's
Friends
check it
and
out.
family discount.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and we go to Texas Roadhouse, and it is like something like a regular night, like maybe a Friday night or Saturday night, so like could be kind of busy.
Right.
And it was like an hour wait, and we had to call ahead, and it was like,
Jeez.
okay, this is weird. And we go in, and it is just packed with so many people who are like, and I like looked this up after, like
And you kind of your schools or where you lived was like
it's so random for
it's
to be
kind of in
public
like
place.
a rural area.
Yeah,
You know.
there's
Yeah, it's right in the middle of
so
nowhere.
many, and it's also not close to anything, but also there's like, I mean, I don't know if people might get offended if I put this on this level, but like there's like Chili's, you know, which I think is fine for like what
Sure.
it is, but like for whatever reason, like Chili's is no wait in Texas
Chili's
Roadhouse.
right
Who do you
now.
think's gonna get offended by that? The
Texas
Texas Roadhouse fan club.
enthusiasts, yeah.
Jesus. Oh my God.
It's so strange.
Yeah, that is
I don't
weird.
know.
I
It's
think
like this huge national chain that is very really like it's like I don't want to
Yeah,
say cult,
it's-
but like
you're right,
if
though.
if you've never been to Texas Roadhouse, you'd have no idea. And if you step in foot in one Texas Roadhouse, you'll be like, "What the heck is going on here?"
I remember I went with a friend of mine one time, and this is the first time I'd gone, and I think he was a member of this cult because he was like, "Oh, you're gonna love the butter."
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
oh.
like it's something
and it's
like,
like,
that.
oh, it's just like
What's the deal with the butter?
It's like cinnamon.
it's like a cinnamon, like,
yeah,
it's like a sweet butter.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even that good. It's fine,
yeah.
but I would
Nothing
never
special.
say like that's their specialty is their cinnamon butter.
Mm.
But apparently it is.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
weird. You're right. There's like a weird cult following of a chain restaurant.
That is strange.
You should check it out, Chris.
I will.
We
Yeah,
should
I
go.
think
We should
I
go
think
for
I went
that
because I know that
podcast.
We should go. Would you guys
there was,
go?
yeah,
I'd go for
there's
sure.
one near my old house. I think I went to, but I don't.
We
really
can
know
we
the
can go to
names.
that same one when you guys visit me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should.
We should. We actually should.
We have a 2-hour wait. We just record a podcast while we're waiting.
in the kitchen. Cool.
All right,
Dang.
Chris, what is on your mind?
So here's what's on my mind. So something I've been thinking about a lot recently is I'm just gonna put it out there. What is the etiquette of a public bathroom
Oh,
with
no.
a toilet stall
Oh,
and
okay.
a urinal? And this is probably just for the men listeners out there.
Now there's there's a stall. It's
So-
not just the toilet because I've seen the toilet and the urinal no barrier.
Yeah, I think I have seen that too. So, but the other day I went to.
It's like a pick your poison.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Toilet in a urinal?
You've never seen the inception of bathrooms.
Yeah.
No,
have
a
to sit
toilet,
in the
a
urinal.
toilet,
You
and a
open the
urinal.
toilet, it's just a urinal in there.
I think I've seen that as well. So,
Wait,
I
But
can
that's
double-
not what you're talking about.
I've
but
only
I'll-
seen that in porta potties.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
So- but
but
just in
it's a
real
public
life.
bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll doubly ask this question. So, if there is a toilet and
Wait, you say real life like a porta potty's not real life?
It's like a plastic water bottle versus like an actual
It's a
water
dream.
bottle.
Yeah, more like a
Ah,
glass.
but those are
Like what?
plastic too. You
That
know what I
doesn't
mean?
make
Like a
it-
reusable water bottle versus
like an Nalgene.
a Nalgene versus like a Poland Spring.
Yeah, but
is
they're
like
both real life.
is
They're both in
real
this
life
universe.
to porta potty.
I'm more.
All right,
confused.
that's what's on your mind.
Whatever,
Chris.
whatever.
So, a bathroom that has a toilet and a urinal you should lock the door. I think
With no barrier.
with no barrier. I think
Certainly
that
you should
that's
lock the door.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
That's a single serve
Yeah.
bathroom.
But if there's a toilet and a urinal and a lock,
In a bar, you're talking about the stall.
so a stall and a urinal, do you lock the door?
No,
No,
I think that's a potential for a 2-person bathroom.
that's what I thought.
Because
Wait,
there's
what
a
is
barrier
the what
there.
is the first example you're talking about where you don't?
So some
lock the
bathrooms
door?
have a
The
toilet
porta
and a
potty.
urinal.
the real life porta potty?
Just a
Oh, okay.
a
okay.
room with a
yeah,
toilet and a
okay.
urinal.
So clearly, no one else can fit.
You got to lock. Well,
Yeah.
there's 2 toilets though,
So it's like
theoretically
hypothetically two
there
people
could
Okay,
could
be.
be
I got you. I got
But
you.
if someone's in there, I
Taking
guess
a-
I'll say it, taking a big poop, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and someone else walks in, they're not
Mhm.
gonna. They're gonna be mad that the door's not locked.
That would happen either way, though. In the other one that you're saying is okay to unlock the door.
No, because there's a barrier. There's the stall. There's a stall in there now.
Hmm.
That's what you're
What?
saying, Chris?
Yeah, so the bathroom I went to the other day had a lock on it, so you could lock the door, but there was a stall on the inside of the room and a urinal.
I think you don't
That's
lock
weird.
that.
So that's
'Cause the
like
s-
a
you
that's
lock the s-
Inception kind of, right? That's a stall within a stall.
Yeah, it's like a room within a
Yeah.
room.
Okay,
but
yeah.
that's every bathroom,
Yeah.
and you don't lock. If there were 8 stalls,
Mhm.
you wouldn't
don't lock the
it
door to
because
use
you
the
just lock
stall.
your individual stall.
Yeah.
So I don't think you have to worry about the remaining 7 stalls
Mhm.
because they might as well not be there.
That
like
is
this
so
example.
strange. Is
But
this
what
a
if-
real thing?
I
now?
say you don't
Yeah.
lock it.
No, I made it up. No, I think they're fairly
Here's
common.
my idea.
But what if?
No, I've seen this.
Yeah. So what if you're in there? Someone's, as you said, taking a big poop. You come
Yeah.
in to pee. Do you still leave the door open? Because then you're in a
Wait.
cramped room. Do you leave it unlocked? Because then someone opens it and there's 2
Well,
things.
Yeah,
no, if-
no,
if-
you don't lock it. Now you're locking,
Locking
someone
yourself
in.
in.
You're
Oh,
locking
God.
someone else in there.
That sounds pretty scary. Yeah. You're
Yeah,
right.
no, you never. I don't think you ever touch the lock in this situation,
Mm.
unless you're the only one in there and like you're panicking and you need privacy.
Yeah.
But that would never happen. You know?
I got the best system in this bathroom, which doesn't
I
exist.
think you go at home. I think you go to the bathroom before you
Mm,
leave.
Sometimes you can't.
you put on the stall horizontal traffic light, and it's red
Yes.
if
Yeah.
there's someone in there, and it's green if you can go in.
And it's brown if you definitely can't go in.
Right. Yeah, I guess that solves it.
Has to be
Yeah,
horizontal.
I would say don't.
in this fantasy
If
world.
there's the barrier there, so you lock your own stall, because you would. But I guess if you go in just to use the urinal, you would lock it, right? Like if
See,
it's
that's
a,
my question,
sorry, if it's a
yeah.
bathroom with just a urinal, I mean,
I would.
you
Yeah.
have to lock
you would
it.
certainly
Yeah.
lock it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
If it's
don't
just a toilet, for sure you.
I don't think you have the right to lock this bathroom.
All
Because
right.
there's
I
a
don't
second.
like-
there's a second
I'm
toilet.
so confused. I think I get what's going on, but I don't want to get into it.
This is like a
further.
classic bar. I feel like a lot of bars have bathrooms like this.
Yeah.
So it is.
And that's the other thing is like in a bar setting where it's crazy and people are drunk, it's probably more willy nilly. People just peeing in sinks and
Don't say the
whatnot.
word willy when we're talking about bathrooms.
when you're sharing a bathroom with someone.
Yeah, you're right. That is
Yeah.
weird, but
Yeah.
you got to play it safe.
Yeah.
But
true.
nothing's worse than walking in on someone
That-
or being walked in
willy
on.
nilly is such a good phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing's worse than being walked in on when you should have locked the door and you're in the bathroom going willy nilly. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you're never right.
Next
Everyone-
time, just bring some newspaper.
I'm busy.
All right.
Occupied. All right, Chris, get to those plugs.
All right, time to hit with the plugs. IneedAHobbyPod.com. All things I Need a Hobby. Find our Instagram, Snapchat.
Emphasis
T-shirts.
on the Snapchat.
Emphasis
And
on the
Instagram.
T-shirts.
Oh yeah,
You can
emphasis
buy
on
them at the
t-shirts.
shop
Mhm.
there.
Amazon. Did you say Amazon?
IneedAHobbyPod.com/Amazon. Shop there for all your Amazon needs. A cut of it.
Back to
goes-
school.
Just make it your.
Probably
Oh yeah,
Probably
back to
past
school
that.
books. Oh yeah, we should have said that before.
Like months ago.
Next semester.
Yeah.
Just make it your bookmark. The easiest way, if you do want to support us regularly,
Mhm.
Like that's
make it your bookmark
the easiest way.
straight to ours. If not, do whatever you want. I don't
Yeah.
care.
I don't-
Use
Yeah.
eBay, whatever.
and get a shirt.
Yeah.
And if you're not gonna get a shirt, at least write a review.
Mhm.
Yeah, at least write a review saying, "Wow, I wish I got a shirt."
We're giving you so many ways to support your local podcast.
Yeah, please, for God's
And your
sakes.
local brewery, maybe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I Need a Hoppy Brewery
Yeah.
soon
We already
coming.
got the name.
Watch out.
All right, see you next week.